So today's the 5th of April, it's my 27th day. It's currently 3:36 and I took my time to make this video because I did want to make one this morning, but I had this surge of energy last night where I couldn't really sleep till late, and I didn't really have a deep sleep till about 3 where I passed out. Vivid dreams, like incredibly vivid, and it took me a while to, thank God to the watch, you know, it took me a while to type them up on my, rather write them down on my iPad, which I also get to reflect while I write them down, which was, they're all very meaningful. I mean, with friends who are also very much on the search of this journey within themselves and creation and the metaphysics of all this, and it was just us creating stuff like the universe spinning around, all very symbolic dreams. My dad was involved in one of them, and it was to do with trust and understanding one another, and how, you know, I was the updated version of him. It was incredible, the dreams, and I even, towards the morning, around 9, I ended up waking up pretty late as I'd slept, as I couldn't sleep. It's the latest that I've woke up in quite some time now, and I woke up singing this song. In fact, I was in bed, so I was still asleep, and this song was playing in my head. And this happens, it hasn't happened in a few months maybe, but this was like a powerful song. It was a rock song, which I've only gotten a few of, because I've got a lot of rap, I've got a lot of electronic music with like mixed with the cello and piano, interesting combinations. But this was like pure bass guitar, me screaming off the top of my lungs, and I discovered that I love to sing a little. I discovered that I like to sing just before I came to Canada, and it was all included in my meditations and my prayers. You know, I started to sing to God, and I felt more connected as I was singing to God. And as I came here, something musical happened to me, and I couldn't stop singing. I would record myself. My voice, I realized that it's not that it wasn't good, it was blocked. I didn't have the confidence. But as I did it on my own, and a few times I got drunk, and then I started to do it at work while I'm working behind a bar, and people are like, "You can sing," and I'm like, "I guess." And then I started making videos where I'd be singing, and I was like, wow, I can't really sing. And the more I let go, and the more free I was, and the more I didn't try to manipulate things or control things, and the more free I was like, wow, I can hit many notes. And I have a few people at work who are like professional musicians and stuff, and they've been encouraging me, you know, to do stuff with them. So this song, I was in bed this morning, and I was screaming off the top of my lungs singing this song and crying hard. It was 9:06 when I finished writing this song, and the recording was exactly 9 minutes 6 seconds. It was about thunder, it was about the earth, but it was also, it could have nuanced meaning, as in it could be the person you love, and it was for me both. And it was me screaming off the top of my lungs to be given that light back, to keep shedding light in this dark, with thunder hitting me and earth crackling. So it was a very primal high pitch and bit of both, high and mid pitch song. And yeah, I pretty much, with the drums and the bass and the singing, I pretty much put the song in there in like 9 minutes. It needs a lot, that's just the raw, but I put the whole thing, and needs obviously some tweaking and needs a lot of maybe needs some engineering and stuff. That was this morning. Being so energized, you kind of need to be careful how you waste that energy or how you use that energy. I've also been having an interesting pain. It's on my lowest rib, which is a floating rib, I guess. When I sit on this chair and I put my legs up, I could literally feel it clicking in and out if I touch it. And I messaged my friend Carlos, lovely sweetheart. I love Carlos. And as I messaged him, I sent him a video actually saying, listen, this is what's happening to me, this is where it is. Then I remembered he'd mentioned the same, someone was mentioned to him, a lady named Sandra within our Nala group mentioned the same problem to him, and he said, it's this. And then after sending the video, it resonated with me. I was like, okay, I get it. But this all they're all so significant, you know. One thing I want to talk about this journey is that, you know, people try to categorize, you know, and we do. We have to understand the psychology of things, but we categorize things spiritually, metaphysically, even emotional, psychologically, and physically, chemically. You know, these are all, when I've come to notice that when during a fast, they're all very much work in tandem or work together. And this deep into it, and being someone who practices their own innate spiritual rituals, you are also a part of. And in Alevism, we also have this, you know, we have the word Kamili insan, which there is no direct translation to it in Western terms, because it's translated to the perfect human. Again, we believe we're not born human. We believe, you know, our adversities, our struggles, you can call it becoming, you know, I guess becoming not desensitized, but the reasoning mind. And the reasoning mind should not be stagnated by faith. That's why also in Alevism, Anatolian Alevism, and I can openly say this, coming from the lineage of a Dede, which means I'm not just an Alevi or dervish. My grandfathers were Dedes, which means the knowledge got passed down to them, and they were healers, and they were lovers of Haq, lovers of the truth, as we call it, because our divine's name is also the truth, and we believe the search for the divine comes within searching for truth, and that comes with virtuous knowledge. Not just knowledge, but it comes with virtue. You know, virtue must be, you know, we believe for the theses, the antitheses, the syntheses, to progress, we believe those three corners need a fourth one, which is your intuitive self, and that comes with the heart filling. And many, including Einstein, went on an intuitive whim, and it wasn't whim, it was actually when your heart fills up to a certain point, you almost know intuitively that you're supposed to do this thing. So Alevism, again, is, I don't want to talk about history, but geologically, where that knowledge has been for the longest time, there has been a lot of rich stuff coming out of there, and There's a reason why it's been secret for the longest time, and there's a reason why now, with the advance of quantum physics and quantum mechanics, that it makes more sense. Us understanding manifestation, pretty much we can analytically explain it, but the feeling, the emotion of intuition is very important, and that's something that the kamili insan, meaning the person who's found himself, is connected to, his pure heart, is connected to his reasoning mind, where God resides as in the consciousness within you, and you become the divine. You become a direct conduit of the divine, and your body and heart is also directly a part of the mother which we live on. So it's really not that complicated, but let's get back into the fast. So what I've come to notice is, as you're letting go of things, and not just psychologically, you're letting go of things that have spiritually daunted you, psychologically then daunted you, spirituality being the deepest, I guess, psychologically, and then physically. When I stretch, a lot of the time when I get into my stretch, and when I trance out in my stretches, I felt certain emotions leave me. And yeah, during this fast, I've come to feel so many things leave me, whether it's a lot of psychological stuff, there are things that played over in my head, a lot of fears and traumas, and I reenacted them, but they also left me. And it's incredible how they have physical symptoms on your body, like you feel bloated. Today my bowels were, releasing some interesting things. I don't have no feces or any dirt left in me, but it was more like mucus and like bile and stuff, which was incredible, like witnessing that. But I felt this morning that energy, yesterday that energy, and things leaving me at the same time. It reaches a point where you're not only releasing stuff from your muscles, it's at a molecular level. Your bone marrow is releasing, and over the years, the traumatic experiences we had, trauma doesn't have to be good or bad. It could just, trauma is trauma, and you're releasing them. You're reaching that point within you, and you're reaching a magi. You're reaching nature. And hopefully in 13 days, once I slowly start to refeed, that my return will be as sacred as my journey, and that I will be able to hold on to this intuitive way of eating. And unless it's to have to eat with others, which is sacred to eat with others, but to having found the way, again, to find the way, there is no external substance, there's nothing from the outside that could give you what you need. It's all internal, and it's all very simple. What you're looking for, it's inside, but it's incredibly excruciating. We intuitively all know what we must do, but what we must endure is something we all run away from subconsciously, whether we accept it or not. Thank you.